When it comes to life, the critical thing is whether you take things for granted or you take them for gratitude. Gilbert K. Charleston wrote that, and this is a quote that's actually put up in the facility that I work at to remind everyone who sees it to be able to be thankful to be alive, to breathe, to eat, just because as humans we can sometimes forget the littlest things that we are still capable of doing. So in my speech, I'm going to talk about how you can use a Hoyer lift. A Hoyer lift is a device that us healthcare workers use to be able to transfer our patients into a chair or into a bed. And usually patients who have Hoyer lifts, they aren't able to really move on their own anymore, like bear weight on their knees or really lift up their arm or walk. So the Hoyer lift is an easy and safe way for us to do that. According to a website called Senior Home Healthcare, a Hoyer lift can be a great way to encourage your patients to be up more often, to minimize the risk of bed sores, and just decrease the need of catheters. I think my speech will be very helpful for the upcoming new CNAs, just because I will be explaining to you in 3 important steps of how to use the Hoyer lift. Also, as young adults in college, I think this is great knowledge for you to retain just in case you ever need to help a loved one. As a certified nursing assistant, I do use Hoyer lifts every day. They're literally our best friends. So I'm qualified to teach you this. The Hoyer lift is a safe way for both the patient and I. So we both won't get hurt. So in this speech, I will explain how you can use the lift safely with 3 important steps. First, I'm going to explain how you connect the net onto the Hoyer lift. Second, I'm going to explain how you pump up the lift. And third, I'm going to finally explain how you can lower the net down. So first, I'm going to tell you how you connect the net onto the Hoyer lift. So you're going to first start by locking the chair that you will be transferring your patient onto. You're going to make sure you grab the net. And when you grab the net, you want to make sure that the loop is on the outside of the net. The place where you can hold it, it's on the outside. You're going to get the net and you're going to have your patient roll over on each side, and as they're rolling over, you're going to tuck the net under them so it's safely secured underneath their bottom, their neck, and their back. So once your patient is fully underneath the net, there's going to be 4 loopholes on the outside of the net, and you're going to connect that onto the Hoyer lift. So once you're able to connect the 4 Hoyer lifts, then you are basically ready for the next step. So from a website called Patient Lift System, the main use of a Hoyer lift is to carry or transfer a patient to one place or another, so you won't hurt your back. As CNAs, we get a lot of back issues from already bending over, so the Hoyer lift is a easy and safe device for both of us. So now that I told you how to connect the Hoyer lift, second I will tell you how you can pump up the lift. Once you have double checked that the Hoyer net is on and that your patient hands are inside the net, you can start by pumping the lever you see on the right hand side. When the patient can't go any higher, you can feel the Hoyer net not raising anymore. You can now move the Hoyer net to the chair or to the bed, wherever you're taking your patient, and you're going to make sure that the patient is right underneath the chair or the bed that you're transferring them to. And by that, you're going to make sure you just grab the loophole that's underneath the patient's bottom, just a little closer to you, just because when it starts raising down, it kind of leans forward. So you just want to grab onto the net. From a web source, manualhydrauliclift.org, lifts can have a capacity of 400 pounds. So it would definitely help you physically to be able to transfer a patient if they were a little bit heavier than you instead of manually doing it. So the Hoyer net is definitely a great and easy way for you to do that. So now that I've told you how you can pump up the lift, I will lastly tell you how to lower the net down. So once you have your patient on the right position, you can start lowering the net down by using the little black knob that is on the Hoyer net. You're going to want to do it slowly just because this can control how fast and slow you can raise the Hoyer net down. So you want to do it slowly just in case you're not hurting your patient's bottom or injuring them in any possible way. So then once they are on the ground, safe, and they are done, you can undo the 4 loopholes that you already connected to the Hoyer lift, and you can now take them to wherever they need to be. In a web source called thebesthoyalift.com, Hoyer lifts are an important machine to the healthcare workers and patients because it helps them with less serious injuries, which is very true. Like I said, with our backs, we get a lot of back issues, so it definitely helps us a lot. Now that I told you how to use the Hoyer lift, let's conclude. First, I told you how to connect the Hoyer lift. Second, I told you how to pump the Hoyer lift. And finally, I told you how to lower the Hoyer lift down. I have explained how to use the Hoyer lift with the 3 important steps. With this information I have gave you, I hope you are able to practice this on your own if you have a loved one, or even if you're a new CNA, you can also practice this like at your facility on your own. So I hope that the information I gave you can definitely help you in the future.